anything in this country anymore. And a country without absolutes, right and wrong, is a lost country. I feel like we are a lost country now.
The unity of Canada is our moment. It's our time to take our country back. The restrictions have been going on for way too long. People need to just do their own thing, and today is a great day for unity.
There's a lot. It's not just one problem. It's just the whole thing in general. Society itself has been overtaken by fear.
We are not intimidated.
Shalom, Yasharal. I want to give infinite honors to our Heavenly Father and our great King, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Harakakadash. I want to give divine honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to my fellow labels of Yahweh Shah, pushing this truth across the four winds. Shalom to you, brothers. I brought out that clip about protesting, all right? You know they got a lot of protesting going on in Canada, and the people are protesting because the 18-wheelers, the guys driving these 18-wheelers are against all of these mandates. And when the 18-wheelers stop running in the country, then that hyperinflation starts and the country starts to crumble. The infrastructure starts to fall because one thing, when these senators and governors run for president, all of them say one thing that is true. These 18-wheeler drivers are the backbone of these nations because they bring all the surplus, all the supplies to every facet of society. All right. But you see, all of these liberties that the inhabitants of the earth think they're having, we're living in a time that this devil is about to come down on all the inhabitants of the earth, first and foremost the nation Israel, and he's going to take away all these civil liberties. All right. And protesting is one of them. This totalitarian society is about to get implemented, and people that go out there protesting, they're going to get put to death because the draconian laws are coming. And here goes some legislation over here in England. I'm about to read a few paragraphs in it, and the genesis of it has started. The beginning has started. They're about to stop people from coming in the streets. They're going to start mowing people down that come in the streets in great numbers, and they're gonna throw them in jail, give them ridiculous ass fines. All right, and they got the penalty. It's already written in legislation across seas, and you know it's gonna happen over here in America. So I'm gonna start off, and this clip is from The Guardian. All right, it's a popular newspaper. I don't want to vain jangle, but I think The Guardian is Washington, D.C.'s newspaper, but don't quote me on it, all right? Okay. Now, attempted to ban protests is usually the mark of a repressive state. This is what it's coming to. That's not us. Is it? All right? And he had a question mark. He's being sarcastic. All right? And I'm going to start off. I'm not going to start off right there. I'm going to start off in the second paragraph. All right. Democracy is in retreat worldwide. Democracies seem weak, unable to get things done, and are captured by big money. All right. And democracy is satanic. All right. It's not biblical. It's a westernized philosophy. All right. We live in the nation of Israel. We have a monolithic king, a dictator, and we dance to his beat, okay? Democracy was put in the earth when the so-called white man came into power with the Greeks. It's wicked, okay? A basic precondition for democracy, respect for different opinions, is vanishing in fractious times. Adversaries are seen not as part of the same polity, but rather abhorrent others to be quashed. next to such strong men as Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping. All right, Democratic leaders can seem instant, and Vladimir and this other guy, all right, they're more like dictators. All right, so they are an objection and they're against democracy. All right, and they houses basically look like it's in order to me from an outside looking in. Yet, for all these democracies' weaknesses, they remain the best protector of liberties and rule of law. You see, and all these liberties is about to get taken away. These so-called liberties, and have to under and have two understated strengths. They saw the issue of succession. Who is to follow Putin and Tsar, and how damaging will the brutal struggle for power as it becomes obviously their capacities are failing. All right, and it's talking about democracy. Equally, deliberation, discussion, dissent, and protest within democracies may be time consuming and sometimes irritating. And they are. They are. But no one and no party is right all the time. All right. And that's the so-called white man with his philosophies. That's bullshit. All right. A man that sleeps with a man is wrong all the time. Gender equality is wrong all the time. All right? What our laws and statutes and commandments say is right all the time. Okay? But this is a satanic society. This is a do as thou wilt society. All right? Ensuring an argument is strong enough to withstand challenging or public demonstration is vital to ensure that, as far as possible, our leaders get the big decision right. And they never do. All right? When 1 million citizens are aroused to give up their time to march, as they were, say, against the Iraq War or for a second referendum on Brexit, it is a storm warning that the policy in question has serious, perhaps fatal flaws. The wise democratic government takes note. All right? And it's wise according to who? See, it's always the narrator. It's always the person giving the story. All right. What's that saying? History is written by the victor. All right. It's not wise to us. All right. It's wise to the powers to be. It's bullshit to us. Freedom of expression and freedom to protest publicly and peacefully are not just pivotal liberties in their own right, but essential building blocks of trust and good government. And the people don't know what they need. The people are idiots. That's not good government. That's idiocracy. Okay? Look what happened when the nation of Israel got from under the law, statutes, and commandments our Heavenly Father gave them, and they were left to their own devices. The people are idiots. The people are stupid. Okay? The people need guidance. All right? Then was when the article expressing views like this would have seemed unremarkable and plainly directed at political systems. All right, nah, that's it on that. Let me get to the point. Is that it? Yeah, this is what I want. In particular, the government party should be free to shred the way legitimate protest is currently framed by the 1986 Public Order Act, which make public demonstration hard enough, even as if it were just within the terms of human rights in the Human Rights Act. The proposed bill, as it went to the Lords, would have criminalized protests. And this is what it's going to come to. Protests about to be criminalized, all right? With protesters suffering prison or sky-high fines for not observing prohibitive new rules. And these new rules are about to be passed in legislation. These bills are written, all right, cross seas, and you know it's going to happen over here in America, about which they could not pretend that they did not know if tried in court. The police and home security will become the arbiters of whether a protest or assembly is allowable. When they can start and finish, they can they could outlaw it if it is too noisy. So when you get all these people coming out there, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, it's going to always be noisy as fuck. So the police gonna be like, oh man, fuck this. And the powers to be is gonna try to stop it. And this is what's gonna bring that civil unrest. All right, because the people are gonna be using their so-called liberty to come out there and protest against the rules that they disagree that the government make. And then the government is gonna stop them from doing that. And that's gonna be a recipe for all hell breaking loose. The police will be empowered to issue serious disruption prevention orders at will. All right. Now look, this is mildly put. All right. And when this thing hits its full power, those serious disruption preventive orders will be shoot everybody that's in the street. How you like those apples? All right. People don't think it's gonna come to that. Shoot everybody. If they come out that 30,000, hit them with 60,000 bullets. That's what's gonna happen. Are they going to have this new technology where they can hit them with the sonic boom radio frequencies that will have people bleeding from the ears and shit? All right? To stop protests in great numbers. They got all this technology to do these things. Arrest individuals without any cause except that they look suspicious. All right? That's what's in the National Defense Authorization Act. All right? They have the legislation to do that. And in prison for up to 51 weeks. Now, in the National Defense, the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, they can imprison you indefinitely without trial and stuff, okay? Those who lock on to railings, you see, that's when they do that shit. When they be out there and the people get them, they lock on to shit. All right, they're going to start killing them people that do that shit. Protests in Parliament Square was to be off limits. And what do they do here in America? They go down to Washington. All right, they go in front of the government mansions and so on and so forth. All that's going to be a thing of the past. All right, and what do people respect? Power. People respect blood, guts, and octane. That's what the government's going to do to stop people from doing it. All right, because when they just say this is unlawful now, it's against the law, the people still going to come. All right, they still going to protest. In a lot of these countries like France and Germany, some of these places protesting is illegal, and the people still out there in the multitudes doing it. So what's going to stop people when they see red, when they see blood, when they see heads rolling? Patel belongs in today's Hong Kong, Beijing, or Singapore. See, Patel is this guy down there in Britain, not Britain, a former beacon of democracy. See, he's bringing in this legislation, all right, to say, look, man, fuck this. The people is having too much power. We need to put a tighter hold on these motherfuckers. But under description to paint labor as being against the tough law and order measures and an anxiety to show Brexit's Britain free from obligations as an EU member state to conform with basic democratic standards can reconceptualize itself. That's not it. All right, that's it on that. It's another part I want to get. It was another part, and then I'm going to bring out my scripture. Here we go. Except it doesn't. Mr. Thatcher's Public Order Act already makes peaceful protests harder than in almost every other democracy, all right? They're about to shut this shit down. According to policy and government exceptional powers, the flurry of additions to the police and crime bill over Christmas. See, they wrote this legislation. They just trying to get it passed. Extraordinary after it had left the Commons, all right? And that's, I think, don't quote me on it, the Commons is equivalent to the Senate here in America, all right? Where explicitly aimed at environmental protesters, all right? So they're taking away. They want to take away the liberties of all these protesters, as Patel acknowledges. It was red meat to appease the growing trend towards climate change skepticism on the Tory right. Her natural continuity. It was wrong at every level, in principle, continually, and in practice, but it pleased an element in her party and her press. in fact, the Lord did not strike out the provision that strategic roads should be protested free. So they're going to start shutting down these roads and guiding these people in like sheep and killing their asses. All right, they're going to have these rails, and like they was doing that during the time they was doing that here in America when they was doing all that protesting a couple of years ago, and they was funneling people like sheep. All right, they're going to funnel them into their deaths. The bill going back to Commons thus permits the widening of the scope of the Public Order Act, but removes most of Patel's most egregious proposals. But Patel's egregious proposals are going to eventually get passed. Mark my words. So that the police executive discretion to outlaw protests remain within limits of human rights are being protected. All those human rights are going to get taken away. All right? They're going to get taken away, and we're about to be in a full-fledged totalitarian society. You can put it in your pipe and smoke it. Okay? This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. And the Egyptians I will give into the hand of a cruel Lord. A cruel Lord is going to rule over the people vigorously. He's going to take away your liberties. He's going to make it hard for you. He's going to tell you when you can eat, when you can drink. He's going to taint your water. He's going to pump poison into your veins. He's going to do all of these things. All right? When you read that book 1984 about George Orwell, man, that is a prophetic book. All of those things are going to come to pass. He's going to even try to tell you when you can have sex and when you can't. All right? Through his technology, he's going to have the power to do these things. Okay? You're going to have to get permission to do these things. And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh of hosts, saith Yahweh. All right? So when this fierce king is so-called white man, he's going to oppress his own people. He's going to take away their liberties, all right? And he's going to oppress the people violently. He's going to be fierce over the people. And the way he's going to be fierce is when he implements these, when you break his laws, his new legislation, his new system, all right, the judgment is going to be fierce, harsh, rigorous. Something for what we know as a misdemeanor in this day and time will be something punishable by death. Okay? And it's prophecy. All right? It's prophecy. All right? Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. All right, you see, that great wrath is going to be for first and foremost the nation of Israel, the elected them. All right, because all of this uproars in the earth is happening. Why? Because the nation of Israel has awakened. It's this great awakening. All right, and this devil know that this paradigm shift is coming because he understands prophecy. He understands the scriptures. For him to push the greatest lie ever told, that means he has to know the truth. All right? So with him knowing that, he's going to subdue the people of the earth, and he's going to be in that spirit, if I can't have the power, no one can. He's going to try to offset prophecy. And for him to do that, he has to take away people's liberties. He has to take away the so-called power the people have. All right? And he's going to set himself up as the Most High. He's going to want to emulate the power that the Most High have. That's why he's going to crash this system, crash the money system, crash the laws that govern this place. All right, and then he's going to implement that new currency. And when he people, we talk about him implementing the new currency. He's not only going when he implements that new currency, he's going to implement new laws. Okay. It's not just going to be the money system is going to change. The whole system is going to change. The educational industrial complex is going to change. He's going to change what the history books say. He's going to change everything. All right. And when he thinks he's fulfilled his enterprise, our great king is going to crack the clouds. So he's about to make it hard on all of humanity. It ain't going to be no more bucking up against him, coming in public square, with your intercoms and saying your whatever you feel. Anybody that comes against him, he's going to put you down. Just like he's trying to emulate Yahweh Shem Shai. What our great king say, anybody Anybody that wish not that I rule over, bring them hither and slay them before me. This devil is going to be trying to roll in that spirit. Anybody that speaks against their government, that protesting those liberties you think you have, that's about to get taken away. He's going to kill you. And he's not going to, you know how this system is, you could be on death row for 20 years. No, he's going to kill you on sight. That's what that draconian measures mean. He's going to he really trying to be like the Most High, literally. All right, the way he was going to bring down his judgments. All right. Now let me get that what this Egyptian king did when we were in Egypt. How he did us. All right, this is Exodus, first chapter. We'll start at verse 8. Oh man, I gotta get back on my herbs and my garlic. Starting to get mucus in me. All right. Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. All right. And he said to his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are most mightier than me. All right. And this is what the government is saying, that the inhabitants of the earth is more people on the planet earth than has ever been recorded since the so-called white man's been in power. Okay. So they're saying, look, the people, they're revolting, they're protesting, they're not keeping our commandments. All right. We got to do something. Okay. They rolling in the same spirit. Come on, let us deal wisely with them. That's why that damn Patel bought that legislation. They started to deal wise with them. All right, when they say deal wise with them, let's get crafty, let's get subtle, so we can take away the liberties and the little power that they think they have. Let's take that away from them. Lest they multiply and it come to pass that when they are falling out in a war, they join also into our enemies and fight against us, so we get them up out of the land. And when the so-called white man is looking at the people of the earth, he's like, man, like just peep game. When them dudes went and bum rush Capitol Hill, man, them dudes was armed. They was a fucking army. Okay? So you in America, you got all these people, they not organized, but shit. It's gonna be hard for the government to take down multitudes of people, and all of them have swords in their hands. So they got to be crafty, and they got to make devices to strip them of those weapons and strip them of those liberties and strip them of those powers so they can subdue them. And they're going to do it because the scriptures say when he think he's fulfilled his enterprise. So they're going to do it. All right, they're going to do it. They're going to get close to doing it. Let's say that. Okay. And it reads, therefore, they did set over them taskmasters, all right, to afflict them with their burdens. And that's these government officials passing these unlawful decrees, all right? You can liken them to the taskmasters to take away your so-called freedoms, okay? And afflict them with burdens. And that's what they're going to do, all of humanity. And they built for Pharaoh treasured cities, Fithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with vigor. All right, and these modern day Egyptians are going to do the same thing. All right, they're about to come down on everybody with great wrath. Okay, and they're about to oppress the people, and the people are about to be mourning. The people are mourning now. Okay. This is Proverbs 29:2, and it reads, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And the people are not going to rejoice, at least the nation of Israel, until our great king come back. All right, now the prophets are rejoicing now. The servants are rejoicing now because we see these prophecies coming to pass. All right, but we still sighing and crying because this devil's in rulership. Okay, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, and the wicked is bearing rule, and the people, if they ain't been mourning, they're gonna start mourning in the coming days, famine, pestilence. All right, all hell breaking loose. That's gonna be the theme of the day, man. Okay, and this government is gonna be doing this by design. They're gonna be doing this on purpose. All right. It ain't going to be no more protesting. Protesting is going to be a thing of the past, man. Okay? And when they do these things, this is what's going to happen. All right. This scripture is going to come to play because the government is going to be coming down on people so hard. All right. This is Second Ezra 15, and I'm gonna start at verse Salakia. Second Ezra, I was in the wrong book. Second Ezra 15 and 16, and it reads, "For there shall be sedition amongst men and invading one another. All right, they should not regard the kings nor princes." Now, the reason they're gonna be bucking up against the king and princes because of the laws and the legislation and the mandates that the kings and princes is gonna be putting on the people, oppressing the people. All right, that's what's gonna get you civil unrest. But the kings and the princes, they're gonna stop that civil unrest. All right, they gonna do something where they're gonna be killing millions of people to get to the point where the people gonna be afraid of the government. It's gonna happen. All right. And the court to the action shall stand in their power. We about to see this happen in live action, 3D. Okay. A man shall desire to go to the city and should not be able. See, those are those mandates. Those are those laws that this devil is going to do. He's going to put curfews in. He's going to cut off the cities. He's going to take away your liberties. You're going to have a permit or something to go to and fro, to go to the store, to go here. You got to check in at checkpoints. All right. It's going to be a full-fledged totalitarian society. For because the pride of the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, because of great tribulation. And the government is going to bring that great tribulation because ultimately the elites is doing this to get order out of chaos. They are bankrupting the economies of the earth. They are spoiling the foods, the wheat barns, and so on and so forth. They're going to be tainting the waters. They're going to be doing this on purpose so they can get full control of the planet, okay? Because they know how they have but a short time. So with that, I'm a Roger Zion. This was edifying to the hearers. I want to give infinite honors to my Heavenly Father, my great King, Yahweh Shem, our Shah Shem, Howard Karkadash, double honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shah, Kwam Yasharala, Abba, Abba.